Peace to the world, peace to the world.
Hello everybody, I'm Blue, this is Matt. You're watching Matt and Blue. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Did you see that comment last week's video? Someone said, can we please get Matt a chair that doesn't squeak every time he moves? Welcome to today's show.
Today's edition of
More like
show.
this week, right?
This week.
Because we're not really a daily show, we're a weekly.
I wish we had a daily. Daily shows would be fun. I feel like we'd be good at daily shows.
Like a morning show?
Yeah, I'd love to have a morning show.
Do you think we could wake up early enough to do a morning show?
Can't we film it the night before? Do we have to make it live?
No, because I think it has to be
What's the point of it being live? There's no point in it being live.
Because it's also like, you're like current to that day's, like what if something happens in the morning, all of the shoots
What if
early,
something
like,
happens 10 minutes after you go off air? Then you don't get to cover it today. We're gonna recap our week a little bit and tell you guys what we've been doing, which really hasn't been a whole lot, but at the same time it has been a lot, but not really a lot.
So you guys know we have that bunkhouse on our property that was...
How would they know that?
Well, we've been in it like, it was like,
I guess
a
so.
year ago though.
We've done
it was a
things
long
since
time
then.
ago. We went in there and we were kind of cleaning it out and it was like super dark and dingy
It's like
there.
a 20 by 40 something tough shed, essentially.
No, it's not. Tough sheds are like...
It is an outbuilding that was brought in, like a pre-assembled or assembled on site. Like that, I don't think that was something that somebody built on those blocks. That was something that somebody put on those blocks.
It had sunk into the...
Yeah, there's no gutter, so all the rain that was coming off the roof moistened the ground enough to where it fell into the earth, like this. And you'd walk in, and if anyone has ever been to Calico Ghost Town, and that weird crooked house, that's what it was like walking in there.
We hired someone to come level it because that was a job that we were not about to undertake. We'd probably end up like smashed underneath it like the Wicked Witch of the West. With our ruby slippers. It's been this like falling apart, decrepit building on our property that we haven't really been able to do much with. But now we can finally now we can finally paint it.
More exciting.
Well, the big thing that like kind of, what is going on upstairs?
Crow!
What?
You have a monkey up there?
What do you mean?
Sounds like there's a monkey upstairs.
So, he's being Mario.
Go!
Our aunts and uncle came to visit, and they brought their big old trailer, like RV trailer?
Travel trailer.
Travel trailer. RV would be something that you drive because it's a recreational vehicle. Is that what RV stands for?
So.
Right?
I always call everything's an RV to me. If it's not a house, it's an RV, unless it's a tent.
This thing was
Or
basically a
camper.
house.
It was huge.
A house that he pulled in
And
his truck.
They had recliners in that heated, and there's a vibrate,
Crow was
heat.
obsessed.
Yeah.
Their TV
Full
that
kitchen,
like pops
fireplace, like an electric fireplace.
Yeah, their TV like pops out of the fireplace.
And we thought it'd be fun to go camping too, so we set up a tent, put bedding in the tent, and Crow was watching movies in the tent, and we put out some Christmas lights. Super fun and magical. And then the next day, I mean, what was it, like 100? It was so hot the next day.
Oh.
We couldn't even be in the tent.
I tried to camp in it. Well, you started to like try to
I
sleep
was
in it?
passed out in it until you came in and tried to wedge between me and Crow.
That was the only space there was.
So I got up and left and slept really good in the house, and then I think 2 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, I made it
I heard
till
you guys outside.
I made it till 1:40, and I could not get comfortable. He really did want me to go in the house, but I could not sleep. It was like I didn't even sleep awake until 1:40, and then I was like, "This is I gotta go in the house. I need some real sleep."
Time for, you guessed it, top comment. All
From
right.
last week's video
Last week's video, which was what?
was
No, top comment is the segment, right?
Right.
Top comment, not top
Oh,
comment
were you
from
like
last
singing
week's.
the jingle for before?
You're so slow. Take it, Zach.
So our top comment from our last video, which was reacting to our vlog as new parents, our first vlog as new parents. We reacted to
Yeah.
our Welcome to Our Pride video. And our top comment was actually from The Adventures of Zach and Bee. Which is pretty fun. I'm giving him a round of applause. So his comment was, the feels, I used to send that video and the one with y'all taking a trip to a cabin in the snow to everyone I could when I was coming out. It's silly now, but I was determined to show proof that I could be gay and still have a family because folks like y'all were doing it just fine. Fully support more look back vids, ha ha ha. When we had made that video and released it, that sort of sentiment was exactly why we had done it. Was like to be able to show that you can be gay and still live a full life. Whether or not you want to have children or build a family, it still was that you can live whatever life it is that you want to lead, and that being gay is not a lonely life, or it is not a life that was destined for sadness, or which like I feel like so many people, especially like past generations, feel, because that was sort of the sentiment that was taught to them. So I feel like for us to be able to normalize what it means to be gay and the gay family was like exactly why we did it. So that was like, felt good to, I don't know.
No, I agree, and I think that it's cool to get a comment from like that from somebody like Zach, who I think is a cool dude, and I feel like we'd have a lot in common. I feel like we would hang out in our garage and talk about tools and compare tools.
Compare tools. With it being Pride Month, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet and just talk around about rainbow washing. I was curious, like, what your thoughts are, what your thoughts are.
Well, why don't we explain to those watching, if they don't know what rainbow washing is, what rainbow washing
Totally.
is.
So rainbow washing is when a brand or company basically uses Pride Month as a marketing tool to like market to the LGBTQ community, and
without actually doing anything to support that community, and a lot of times doing the exact opposite of supporting and donating money to, say, politicians, senators who do things like organizations who hold up things like the Equal Rights Act.
So that's what rainbow washing is, and we see a lot of it now. Like right now, with it being Pride Month, you see basically every company brand has got some sort of campaign right now that's with rainbow flags, and they're talking about a lot of companies that are, will even use old campaigns and just slap a rainbow logo on there, or like change their logo and put like incorporate rainbow into it.
I think that ultimately it hurts the LGBTQIA community that companies do that, but in a way, I mean, I feel like it's still visibility.
This is something that I think we can relate to, like being that we live in a more rural community. We don't live in the big cities where you necessarily see the Pride campaigns everywhere. We don't walk into our grocery stores and see it. Even the Walmart doesn't carry a bunch of Pride stuff here.
There's zero Pride flags where we are.
Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere. When you think about a kid that may come out in a rural community, may come out to his parents are struggling because they might feel that is a lonely lifestyle, or that they're alone and they don't know, they're struggling with it or how to deal with it. They see that commercial, being able to see that might tell them oh, we are not alone. It might tell that kid, oh, I'm not alone. It is visibility, it is inclusivity, and it is a way of saying we support you, you're not alone, and we're with you and we're with the community. And all of that to somebody who's outside of a major city might have huge effect on the way they feel, on the way their parents feel, their relatives, their friends.
I think that showing support and not doing anything to actually support, showing support to me is almost just words.
Right.
Doing something, donating money, being involved with the community. I think that those are actions.
Of course.
And I think that actions are what make the difference, and I think that it's wrong for companies to be using the flag and symbols of the community as a marketing gimmick, regardless of who it might help in a rural community.
Totally.
Granted, that's good. I mean, if it helps somebody, good. But ultimately, it might help a couple people in the rural communities, but it really doesn't help the cause in the community overall.
So you're saying like these companies have, like, if they're going to use it as a marketing, if using it as a marketing tool, they have a responsibility to actually give back to the community.
Not just give back, because I think that there are some companies who do give back, but who also give money to politicians who literally will do anything from keeping any LGBTQ, anything from passing or coming into law as far as protections or acts or, you know what I mean, legislation. Stop worrying about pleasing everybody and stand for what you stand for.
Like Burger King right now, right? They released their chicken sandwich. They released.
Bro and I love Burger King.
Yeah.
The Impossible Whopper, I don't know if you've heard of, but.
So Burger King has just released their chicken sandwich that happened to coincide with Pride Month. They announced that they were going to donate 40 cents of every chicken sandwich sold to the Human Rights Campaign. They took a little dig at one of their competitors, saying that they'll make that donation even on Sundays. Barilla? That's the proper way to say it. The pasta company. It's like the world's largest pasta producer. And they, I think it was back in 2013, their CEO had made a comment about, it was like on an Italian radio show, I think, and they had asked if they would ever use a LGBTQ couple in one of their ads, and the owner of the company had said that they never would because they don't agree with that lifestyle, and that if gay people were unhappy with that, then they can just eat another pasta brand. That sparked a whole backlash, and it caught, like, people were calling for a boycott of their pasta. But since then, they have made a huge turnaround. They meet regularly with LGBTQ organizations in Italy as well as in the US to discuss ways that they can make their company a more inclusive and better place to work, and they've completely turned it around, so much so that now the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, has actually given them a perfect 100.
Given them.
Like, it's given them. Did I say given? Has given them a 100% score as far as like a company that supports the community, and they have now made a complete turnaround. And even I forget who, but somebody from GLAAD had said that it's important for us to recognize that people can evolve and realize and learn and make a change. But that brings it, but that CEO, does he really feel that way, or is he doing that?
Is he the CEO? Is he the owner?
Sorry, his name is Barilla. Am I saying it right, Barilla?
I think
Barilla.
Both.
But he is the namesake. It is a privately owned, family-owned company. So he still is. He is Barilla. So
look, I mean, I think that if somebody, that sounds cool, what they're doing, and obviously that the HRC they know more about it than I do, who knows nothing. But from what you're saying, then I think that that's a good example, and I think that we should support companies that do make the turnaround like that, because I think the majority of people in my life have evolved into being accepting. I, in my own self, have evolved my feelings and opinions of my own community over time. You know, there was a time that I wasn't like, I'm not gonna be a pride. Like, there's not a straight pride. There's not, because I was ignorant. I was young. I didn't know anything. You know, and I think that everybody deserves a chance to evolve, and I think that influence is a big thing to get people to see things in a different perspective and change the way they think about our community. So good on them if that's actually what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
But on the flip side, then you have ChickFilA, who is now in the news again for their CEO continuously donating insane amounts of money to anti-LGBT or
you know what really gets my goat?
Organizations. And even though, after this first round when he made those initial comments, we were all boycotting it all, and then all the franchises were like, hey, that's not fair because we're gay and we own this franchise and that's not like fair to punish us because of this guy. But in the end, it still is like a reflection. Like you're still putting money into that guy's pocket. I have a hard time with Chick-fil-A. Like since the initial time when he made those comments, I have not eaten at a Chick-fil-A since. And I still wouldn't, and they're still like, and now he's doing it again. Like he's in the news again. It's just not
that good, anyway.
But you were saying, what gets your goat? Like what?
What gets my goat is when I see my friends or other just gay people, walking around with a Chick-fil-A cup, or
it makes me crazy.
You know, we had company a year or two. I don't know, actually longer than that. We had friends at one time that showed up at our house with Chick-fil-A drinks, and it took everything I had to bite my tongue and not bring it up. Like, yo, you know what they do, right? But I didn't. I kept the peace. Aren't you proud of me? I kept the peace. I just wish there was maybe there is. Does anybody know a central hub of those kind of businesses, the Chick-fil-A's, that we should not be putting money into?
Or ones that we should be putting money into. So when we went to the Casey Musgraves show at Red Rocks in, what was it, a year or two ago?
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's a huge, like, advocate for our community, and her audience was, like, 50-50, like, the gays and then the country music fans. But it was still a very, like, all-inclusive, like, very warm, like, this feeling of the evening was, like, great, and love and all these things. But as we were walking out of Red Rocks, Chick-fil-A, there was a Chick-fil-A like pop-up and they were serving Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And I just was like, the conflict here is just like so blatant. And I don't know, like Casey may have nothing to do with it and she might not have even been aware of it.
That's the venue.
Like, I love her and like, I think she's great. And it could have just totally been the venue, but it just was like, how are we walking out and not like, as I'm walking out away from my seat, like that is what it's like put in my face. And I don't know. I just like the Chick-fil-A thing doesn't make sense to me and the other companies. And I try to be pretty aware or vigilant about where we spend our money. When it comes to things like that, things that we, you know, even Hobby Lobby used to be a place that we could walk from our old house in Scottsdale, and we used to walk there and love it. And then everything came out with like, when everything came out with Hobby Lobby, like I never set foot in one again after that. I'm sure we'll read a lot of your comments and they'll change the way we feel. And that actually, I found like a lot of times when we have these sort of discussions, somebody will mention something and it'll make me sort of like reconsider or rethink what we had said.
You mean you evolve your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely, exactly.
Exactly.
So my point is like,
that is
don't
what
even
discussion is about.
And that's what's like so great about this platform is like we get to start this conversation. We'll say a lot of things that you guys will come. You'll give us a lot of your thoughts, and it'll like we'll all evolve and we'll all grow from it. So don't necessarily always take what we say in the video as like in stone.
And the best thing is, don't listen to us and think that our opinions actually are our opinions. The best part about this is that if you have the best comments, then you're probably going to be top comment next video. All right, listen, we're going to close it up with a little current show talk. We started watching a show a couple nights ago that I can't stop thinking about. Is it actually for us or is it a kid's show? I guess it's kind of like just a family show.
Well, I think it's like
or is it even a family
I think
show?
It's TV-14, so I think it's just... I mean, our kid watches it, but our kid watches all the Marvel movies, and it's not. It's from a comic. It's a DC comic.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sweet Tooth. I've been trying to get you and Crow to watch this show since it came out, and you guys have been like me.
Yeah,
and now you guys.
You know how many shows you try to get us to watch all the time? It's too much.
So what about? Oh no, my friendship bracelet with Crow just broke.
What is it about it that
you can't stop thinking about?
Like the end of the world.
And on top of it, there's a lot of like obviously parallels between what's happening now and what's happening on the show. And I mean, obviously that's part of like why they made the show. But it's a good show. I've been really enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun. Have you guys been watching it?
How many episodes are we into? Big Little Liars? What is it?
No, Little Fires Everywhere.
What is the other one that's almost the same show?
Well, it's not almost the same show, but it's Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. I haven't seen it.
Also starring Reese Witherspoon.
But I've seen the commercials, and I feel like it's the same character.
Actually, her character is kind of, well, not kind of similar, but not really. I did watch that show. But Little Fires Everywhere. I really dig this show. And actually, fun little fact, the creator, Liz Tiglar, was one of the writers on Kyle XY. And she created that show. When we were talking about Handmaid's Tale, Eric Tuchman, who's a writer on Handmaid's Tale, was our showrunner on Kyle XY.
Know everybody.
Oh my gosh, you're such a name job.
Oh my list!
Little Fires Everywhere is also a show that I mean, it's like also very relevant to what's happening, like where we are culturally, and some of the cringy things that Reese Witherspoon's character does.
Did you ever have those moments where you think about something stupid you've said?
Constantly.
And like, I do a lot of times when I'm working in the yard, I'll just like, my mind will be running and I'll think of something dumb that I said. Like maybe even borderline racist without meaning to say it, but like then looking back on it and realizing what I said and just cringing and want to like start digging a hole and just bury myself in it in the yard. We finally finished this season of...
Well, finally. It was like we finished it as the season finale came.
I'm so bummed. Hacks. Speaking of somebody who makes bad decisions, Ava. Hacks.
I love that show though. I would rewatch that show because I loved it so much.
It's really well written show.
And it's so easy to get through. So fun.
But I think that's one of the shows recently where I feel like the character development is so well done. Like those characters, like you know those characters so well. It's a very enjoyable show and funny.
So if you haven't watched it yet, you still haven't started it, even though we told you to go start it weeks ago.
What the flack are you been waiting?
You're wasting your time. Go watch it. All right, you guys, that's it for this week. I'm gonna just let it finish. Hit that thumbs up. And hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed. And we'll talk to y'all later. All right, we gotta go. Peace to the world, y'all. Bye.